Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you. It is the finals in tonight's All League Alt Arena, our open tournament. This has been tons and tons of fun. What a great evening, and we do have an extremely high-powered matchup coming at you right now. It is going to be Everize taking on Recent, and they are going to be spawning here on GSL's Terminus Re. And I like this map quite a bit. They are going to be in relatively close air positions, and Recent, interestingly enough, will be expanding towards his opponent here. You can see in this kind of arc, expanding there on the minimap towards his opponent, and Everize will be expanding away from his opponent from an air sense. So this is going to be really interesting. Now, my guess is that Everize will try and capitalize on that by using some drop play, some drop style play. It would be easy for him to mount those type of attacks right here from his main. I mean, look at this. It is not far of a jaunt here, of a little stint, if you will, across that gap to the third of Recent, should they get that far in the matchup. But pretty good stuff. We'll see if Recent going to try some of the same things, but relatively close air positions on this map. To get there by the center, you have to go quite a long walking distance when it comes down to it. It's a fairly large map. But let's see, Recent is working on his barracks pretty well. Looks like Everize slightly ahead there on his barracks timing, so interesting. Different timings, that's for sure. I mean, let's see, what is that, 20... Wow, it's about a 20-second difference there on those barracks. Now that definitely means something here. See what Everize is going to do with it. Notice that he doesn't have his gas yet. And we do have the gas already down here for Recent. Boy, these guys sure chatting away, aren't they? Boy, I'd send you. You can join my team. But we will chat with him about that some other time. Obviously, right now, it is a tournament time for him, and we got to keep this guy focused. Stay focused, Everize. But I've seen him play before. I mean, he's phenomenal, but I haven't seen him in a good while. It's been almost 2 months, I think. But it's nice to have him back. He does already have his Marine out here. Recent is going to try and cruise up here with an SCV. Oh, but he backs out with his life there. 3 HP left, so not bad there. Does save the SCV, but didn't get quite very much scouting in. I think it probably would have been just fine if he cruised up this ramp here. But it looks as though Everize is going to complete his wall off here with a supply depot. Looking really solid. We do have a tank, haha. How about a factory already out on the field for Recent, where he does have the option of producing a tank. However, it may not be that. It could be a good old-fashioned 1-1-1 build. We'll see which is going to be here. We do have the tech lab already out here on the barracks. Notice that he is getting a Reaper. We do have this nearly dead SCV. Probably going to die. I think if Everize notices this, he'll probably just go ahead and snipe him, giving this SCV 1 kill. Indeed he does. 1 kill, that was easy. But here comes a Reaper. Oh, and Everize notices this. And a Hellion here. So interesting harassment units here from Recent right now. Is going to be cruising out across the map with these units. Going to try and put some pressure on his opponent here, potentially. In the meantime, we don't have much else. Oh, there we go. There's the starport. Starport for Recent is going down, but here comes the attack right now. It looks like the Hellion going to be battling it out here at this location, and the Reaper, oh, nope, they're going to be backing out immediately, waiting for some reinforcements here. But this Reaper could probably go up this back way and start sniping the Marines while the Hellions go for it from this location here. It's not a bad play. But we'll see what he's got for us. Looks like he may be waiting for a couple more reinforcements. There is another Reaper on the way. Reapers are actually pretty dang good. They do a decent amount of damage. 30 damage is quite a bit. Even at their 1.8 weapon speed, it still is pretty decent DPS. So not bad. We'll see if he's going to try and brutalize these Marines with these units. Could be difficult, but I mean, it's definitely a possibility. But here comes some reinforcements. We do have another Hellion. And it is about to be go time. A double Reapers, triple Hellions, up the ramp, up they go. Gonna take out a couple Marines here. Oh, with the Reapers going down very, very quickly. And now these Hellions have very little chance of getting into this base. But they will have to Actually, they may. Good control here from Recent. Gonna probably get these SCVs killed here. And maybe even pick off another Marine. Oh, one of those Hellions did go down. Recent trying to keep these guys alive and do some damage at the same time is kind of difficult. Everize now getting out some Hellions of his own. He does have, however, have a starport. Does have this Banshee, but Banshee number 1 from Recent already here. He got that out fairly quickly. Going to be working on this supply depot. And these Hellions about to be cruising up into the base. Now there is no AA, and notice that Everize is going to take his Banshee and head it straight to his opponent's base, but look at this. Recent going to be relatively prepared here. He has got double of those missile turrets in his base right next to that mineral line there. But here comes all of the Hellions and this Banshee right to the mineral line here. Looks like this Hellion might pick up a couple more, or any kills. He doesn't have any actually yet. It's the other ones that had it. Nope, he is going to go down. It looks as though this Banshee is going to be a lone warrior here for just a little while. Let's go check in on Everize Banshee. It looks like he has been cruising around the backside of the map. You can see there on the mini-map. We'll check in on him in just a second, but look at that. Missile turret and a Viking picking up a kill there. Pretty stinking nice. And here comes the Banshee for Everize. Did take some damage, it looks like, from this missile turret as he flew over. Or actually probably from this Viking more than anything, but now he is in position to try and hit the back of this mineral line, but there is a missile turret. Oh, is he going to go down? Yes, he does. Great, great stuff there from Recent. Absolutely doing the damage that he needs to here. Let's just check the units lost tab for a moment. Notice Everize actually behind 600 mineral resources right now. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Units tab going to show that he is also behind in the worker count. Now, he does have his expand up and running, but so does Recent. And while he does have a couple more mules at the moment, that is not necessarily going to last. Now, we do have Recent still being very active with this Banshee. This Banshee did pick up 2 kills. Scan going down now, but the cloak not going to last because of that scan, and these Vikings going to pick up the kill. That one actually has 2 kills now. So good stuff there. He did finally get those Banshees out of his base, but good stuff from both of these players so far. Everize is going to need to take this expansion out. Recent already securing his expand right at this point, so great stuff from him. He's really setting himself up for a potential win. I'm liking that. And Everize, not an easy player to take down. He is a Grandmaster. Recent is, I think he's just Master still on the American server, but he is very, very highly ranked. But phenomenal player in him. We've seen him play quite a bit. One of my favorite games of all time was him versus Animal. You guys can check that out on my YouTube channel. It is way down the list. It was one of my first videos, really, when it comes down to it. But it was a long time ago. But go check it out if you want to see some insane dropping and micro from Recent, because it was beautiful. So go for it. I highly suggest it. Everize is going to be going for a pretty heavy air at this point. He does have triple Vikings out, as well as a Raven and a good looking ground force here. He does have still some Hellions in the mix, a tank and Marines. Interesting unit compositions, but here comes the attack. These guys just cruising around here for a little bit of intel. Do have a Raven. Looks like these guys going to land here, and an auto turret going down. Brutal. Going to be picking up quite a few kills, it looks like, at the mineral line. Stim Marines coming in here to try and clean that up. Looks like they will get it taken care of. And Recent going to fall or take down one last Viking there to clean out all 3 of the Vikings. Did leave this Raven, however. The Raven picking up a kill from his auto turret there. Not a bad deal. Wow, very interesting play from both of these guys right now. Looks as though Recent is going to be moving out here. Notice that the units does show 43 SCVs for Recent to 25 right now of Everize. Definitely an economic advantage right now for Recent. Serving him very, very well. He is going to be getting that infantry weapons level 1 right now. That is nice stuff. As well as, looks like he is going to be getting some medevacs too. Might be seeing some drops. Oh, engineering bay and an armory going down. So we're going to see some relatively heavy mech play with good infantry support, I think, from Recent, which is not a bad play at this point. Interesting stuff, though. However, we do have Recent cruising out here with his medevac dropship. Is going to provide or give us a nice, phenomenal drop here in just a moment. Hopefully before the missile turret takes him out. There we go. Oh, missile turret does take it out. did take out that tank, though, did stop mining here, and Everize not getting back to the mining quick enough, but he did mount an attack here, and it looks as though Recent cleaned that up very, very quickly. So good defense from Recent, now putting him very, very much ahead in game number 1. Wow. Beautiful play from both of these players thus far. Everize really needs to get his economy rolling here again. Let's just check the units tab for a moment. Still at 28 SCVs. Wow, it looks like he did get some SCV kills here that we missed during that engagement. But that's okay. We were watching another one. Good drop at that point. And it looks as though Recent is going to be moving forward here. He's got... Oh, nope. It is going to be a drop, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like these Marines going to kick it back here in the center of the map. But here comes another drop from a different angle. And looks like maybe going to snipe some tech labs here, I'm guessing. Oh, right to the missile turrets again. There we go. Get those guys back to safety. One medevac does go down, so evacuating all of these guys, not a possibility at this point. But there is no medevac here for Everize, and the medevac here for Recent actually making a pretty big difference. Good stuff. However, that was cleaned up in a very big way by Everize. Let's just check the units tab. And oops, we were on the units tab. There we go. But notice that Recent doing a lot of damage to Everize economy. And now Everize got something cruising out here. It is going to be another Banshee. Does have the cloak complete. Probably doesn't need it quite yet, but here comes nothing. Never mind. Nobody wants to defend that, apparently. Recent going to be backing out. Probably needs a couple missile turrets around here and there for some detection, etc. And so a little bit of back and forth here. Everize is going to capitalize on the fact that Recent not playing it super safe here with no missile turret sirens. Bad stuff, I think. I mean, really, missile turrets you've got to have, especially with that possibility of a cloaked Banshee at any given moment. You've got to be prepared for that. It looks as though Recent, though, is going to have a pretty decent number of Marines for defense here, should he need it. And indeed he will. But +2 on the way, as well as +1 armor for these infantry units. It looks like he is going to be sticking with Mass Marine for a little while. I'm loving it. I love it. Oh my goodness. You guys will definitely have to go check out his game versus Animal. This is the same thing that he did in that game. Mass Marines with medevac support, and it is brutal stuff to deal with, man. So phenomenal play though from both of these guys thus far. And we do have missile turrets going up for Recent, which I'm liking quite a bit. Cruising up here to the top. Looks as though he's going to perform yet another drop. Scan going down, revealing the drop. Interesting play. So Everize, great scan there. I think that's really going to serve him well. Oh, Recent might lose that entire medevac. Indeed he does. Full of Marines. Great snipe there from Everize. Uh-oh, hotkeys, sad face. It's not really a sad face. It's a disgruntled face, or whatever you want to call it. But regardless, it is not a happy face when you have troubles like that. Here we go. More drops yet again. Looks like these guys are ready to drop in the back here. And these guys are going to be dropping in hopefully soon enough. Oh my goodness. Wow, one of these medevacs does live. That is fairly handy. Here comes the stim forward. Looks like the medevac is going to go down, but the costs are going to mount here. A lot of mining time lost for Everize at this point. He's just now taking his third. Absolutely has to have it at this point. Minerals here at the main are just about mined out. Everize is going to be performing a drop of his own. You can see him headed out in this direction, as well as another command center going down here for Recent. Now we do have a missile turret here. And here come the reinforcements from Recent. Got to clean this up quickly. Looks like this missile turret going to go down. There is still one back here at the mineral line that will prevent some Banshee harass, potentially. But great stuff from both of these players right now. We do have a drop ready and awaiting to go, and it appears that Everize does see it, but here comes some Stim Marines to deal with that medevac, and down it goes very, very quickly. So a little bit of mismanagement of resources there, I think, for Recent. Just a little, but not too bad. He's still in great shape. Let's just check units lost. Notice that he is actually behind in the resources lost, but the units tab does show his economy rocking and rolling, and that is absolutely going to be serving him well here. So good stuff. Now we do have the third going down here for Everize. That's exactly what he needs at this point. His main looks like, oh wow, almost completely mined out. And he just needs to have some more SCVs, I think, at this point, as well as potentially another base. But the main here for Recent is mined out as well, essentially. I mean, but main attack here from Recent going to be really, really difficult to deal with. Everize does have a decent force, but it looks like that tank not able to do enough damage, and now Recent going to have free reign, and there's GG in game number 1. Beautiful play from Recent. Everize losing game number 1 to Recent, and Recent going to be ready and raring for him here in game number 2. Everize does get the map pick, so ladies and gentlemen, stay exactly where you are. Don't alt-tab. Always alt-Starcraft. We'll see you guys in game 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. It is going to be on Shakuras Plateau. Everize versus Recent. Now, it's game 2 in tonight's finals of the Alt Arena Open Tournament, the All-League Tournament. So this is beautiful, beautiful stuff. Man, Everize and Recent, these guys such phenomenal players. Love this style of play from Recent. I've seen it before. He really tends to impress me with his just drop after drop after drop after drop and just picking his opponent apart. And he did a pretty good job against Everize, who is a grandmaster here on the North American server. So, I mean, it takes a lot of work. Now, Recent is a highly ranked master player. Probably one of those guys who could very easily be a master level player here in Season 4. But he is going to be spawning, Recent, I should say, is going to be spawning as our blue or teal Terran. In the top right-hand corner, top left, we do find Everize. He will be spawning as yellow. Got to love TvT finals, huh? If they can do PvPs in MLG, we can do TvTs here. But looks like we're going to see relatively standard openers here. Nobody walling off quite yet. Now notice that Recent does not have the same build order, the same timings as his opponent. He tends to put his gas down first, and then he puts his barracks down just a little bit later than his opponent there. And the units tab does show 13 to 13, but notice that under the production tab that Recent slightly ahead, so I think maybe he does pick up a half a second or so on an SCV, so I wonder if that's why he does this exact build order or not, but we'll see here in just a moment. Notice that Everize does have a scout cruising into his opponent's base, so good scouting there. Lucky that he chose this spot first instead of the bottom position there. But going to be cruising around his opponent's base here fairly effectively for just a little while. Notice that we do have a tech lab going down here on the barracks all ready for Everize. Probably going to be getting out, I assume, some Reapers. Yes, it is going to be Reapers right away. He does have just a single gas, so not going to be teching too hard after that. In the meantime, we do have this SCV looking to potentially die here. Might get taken out. Maybe not. Oh. Gotta keep following him. Don't let him kill your builder. Looks like a Reaper on the way here for Recent as well. So both of these guys having the same type of idea, except just slightly different build timings and build orders from these guys. So that's kind of interesting. Here comes Reaper number 1. It is Everize's first. He is first out of the gate there with the Reaper and going to be cruising into his opponent's main here in just a moment. However, there is going to be a Reaper ready and a rare to go for Recent as well. And here it comes. Reaper Wars. Oh, wow, this Reaper picking up 2 kills very, very quickly. Is going to have to go down to the low ground here, it looks like. And we do have a Hellion out on the map. He is going to be brutalizing these guys. 2 kills now on a Hellion, so good stuff there. Evening the score up quite a bit there. And we do have more Hellions coming out on the field right now. Everize did toss down his command center here at the natural pretty stinking quick, so nice stuff. Oh, wow, good job, Reaper, taking out the Hellion. That is a big snipe there for Everize, and quite a loss for Recent, so beautiful stuff. Man, this is a great game so far. We do have the starport complete for Recent. Not going to be going for a tech lab, it does not appear, so no Banshees apparently quite yet on the starport. Interesting. and just working on what appears to be some more Hellions for just a little while. Nothing out of the barracks right now. Looks like he is going to be going for some mech style of play. A bunker going down here for Everize. You know what? Bunkers and Reapers were made for each other, man. I mean, there is not a better unit. Well, I mean, I say that, but Marauders are for any unit's really effective in a bunker. But I love seeing Reapers in bunkers. It just really makes me happy. So hopefully he'll put some in there just to appease me. But if he doesn't, I won't be that upset, that's for sure. Looks like these three Reapers are going to be cruising out across the field, taking the back way. Got to love that. And off they go. And here comes a drop at the same time. Now, Recent going to have to really get with it and deal with these Reapers quickly. They're going to be picking up a lot of SCV kills. Hellions are going to deal with them in pretty decent style. But wow, those Reapers picking up decent kills. I mean, check your worker kill count. 8 kills right now for Everize. Only 1 worker kill for Recent. Looking really, really solid. We do have a command center going down here for Recent, but the command center, or actually orbital command now, for Everence already up and running. Going to be getting that saturated here pretty good. We do have a little bit of a Hellion drop here. Some touch and go. Not quite going to make it happen. And now we're in a holding pattern for just a moment. Notice Everize is going to be spending all of his mule energy here at the natural for just a little while. Looks like Recent getting his orbital command up and running. Going to fly that out here to this position here in just a moment. I would hope to have double factories right now. One with a tech lab too. So we've got the Blue Flame Hellion out, I assume. Let's just check. Yeah, we've got Blue Flame out. We've got Blue Flame out. Good stuff. And it looks like he is going to be cruising out across the map with triple Blue Flame Hellions for just a moment. We do have a bunker complete with 4 Marines in it right now. And a whole bunch of Marines up here on the high ground. Looks like Everize going for a lot. Oh, look at that. Good control there from Recent. Going to be dropping up there in the main for just a moment. Not going to be taking any more damage, but here comes some Hellions. Going to try and get some worker kills, but it does not look like they will get very much. In fact, none. But here they go back into the main, dropping them up into the main and straight to the mineral line. He knows what his goal is here. Recent wants to put his opponent behind economically, if at all possible. I like this play quite a bit, but he has to be careful not to overcommit these units, and he's taking a lot of losses. The Hellions, while cheap, are definitely not free, and their losses do add up pretty substantially. Take a look at how many it is. It is 1,400 worth of resources right now to 850. So Recent taking a beating there because of Everize's ability to defend. Now let's just check our workers killed count. Now he did even it out a little bit, but not very much. And so he's really going to be suffering from this, I think. Does have some Hellions here to try and deal with this Marine with a couple Marauders mixed in. And that is, wow, that's tough. Tough stuff. Is going to have some tanks coming out on the field. He does have siege tech on the way, as you can see. Let me just get rid of this workers killed thing. That'll be helpful. Now look at that, though. Lucky break here for Recent, I think, that Everize did back out. I really believe that that would have been a great time for him to attack. The only thing he really had out for defense at that moment was Hellions at that point. So not a bad deal. Looks like we are going to see some more Hellion dropping in the medevac there. And Recent still maintaining the map control, which is kind of interesting to me. I mean, it'd be so easy for Everize to blind that tower with like a Marauder or anything at this point. It's only being held by an SCV, but I mean, he could assume a Hellion, but send out a Marauder then, and a Marauder, let the Marauder hold the tower. Regardless, he's doing a great job. We do see a drop up here in the main yet again. Everize is going to try and clean that up quickly. One going down already. Looks like these guys are going to try and get some worker kills before they die. Man, I don't know if that is being very cost effective. He only picked up 2 kills there. He is down here at the natural, however. Did clear out quite a few there, it looks like. Wow, now it's up to 20. So there we go. That's what he was trying to do. is going to be able to get that done for just a little while. Look at this though, a drop from Everize in the back, and that is going to be evening that workers killed score quite a bit. Oh no, and Recent may end up losing this orbital command. He's got to get some repair down on that sucker. And they are trying to focus it down. Is he going to be able to get it repaired? Barely needs to fly that sucker over into its position right away. We do have a couple more units here from Everize. Looks like they are ready to drop again. Let's just check our units tab. Economic favor is in there for Recent. So interesting. He's done a great job staying on top of that economy. Units lost is favoring Everize at this point, so slight differences there, but not bad all in all. And it looks as though Everize is going to be cruising out across the map to put on some serious forward pressure. That's a good looking army here. Oh no, he's going to drop it. He is. No, he's not. Maybe he is. We'll see. Looks like he is going to take 4 full medevacs up here into the main, right into this tank fire. However, a lot of tanks on the ground. That tank going to go down very quickly. Great job here. Good positioning. Should be able to kite his way in and take out quite a few units. There's just not much by way of defense here quite yet. And it looks as though Recent going to evacuate this command, this orbital command ASAP. Everize taking a very strong position, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like he may be able to take down a win here in Game 2 with just this force. This may be our last attack. Notice him just stimming around here with complete rain on these buildings and just taking them down quickly. He does have that +1/+1 complete for that infantry, making them so much more effective. And with that many medevacs, it's going to be difficult to clean up this army. Looks like Recent going to be moving his siege tanks forward here. Stimming forward, taking out one tank immediately. Blue Flame Hellions trying to clean up the rest. That tank going down as well. Wow, Everize being so cost effective with these units. Done so much damage. Is going to be trying to snipe the starport as well. Wow. Just phenomenal play from Everize at this point. Looks like he is so strong with this big drop that he chose to go for it. In the meantime, Everize is going to be cruising out across the map with a couple Hellions. Let's just check the units tab real quick and see where we're at economically. Notice now that Everize does have a significant economic lead. Those losses for Recent mounting. Look at that. Almost 2x the losses in the resource count there. And it looks as though Everize is going to be bringing a whole other attack. And look at this army here. It's a good looking army, man. A lot of Marines, couple Marauders mixed in there. Very effective. Cruising up here, going to be supply blocking his opponent here just shortly if he's not careful. A lot of supply depots here in this small spot. Could go down very quickly. This is Game 2. Recent took down game number 1. That's for the guys out on the live stream that showed up a little late. But yeah, here comes the big drop here yet again from Everize. Looking for a good time to land these guys. Right in the middle. And there's the GG from Recent. Everize taking down game number 2. Wonderful play. We'll be going into game number 3, so stay exactly where you are. Don't alt tab. Always alt Starcraft. We will see you guys in just a bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. It is going to be on MLG's Tal'Darim Altar, Game 3 in tonight's finals of the Alt Arena tournament. We hold this twice a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays. It is open to all leagues, and let me tell you, these guys are the top of the top, the best of the best, the cream of the crop, whatever you want to call them. These guys are phenomenal. And we've seen it tie up right now. It is 1-1 in a best-of-5 series. Recent here, wow, look at that. He's really interested in different spots. Oh, wow, he's going to put... interesting. Supply depot all the way in the back here. Right off the bat, looks like Everize got a slightly different idea. He's going to be working on a bit of a wall-off for just a moment. Good stuff. And Recent, yet again, going for his early refinery. He tends to favor this build order. It's kind of interesting to me. But it is really good play. It seems to be working out for him fairly well, except for in the last game. But that was mostly because of Everize. Wonderful, wonderful push there with Marines and Marauders. He had great upgrades in that last game and just forcing his way in there. Very, very forceful play and good stuff. But he does have his barracks going down here in pretty decent time, and the barracks for recent starting as well. Notice that there is a slight timing differential there. Everize a little bit ahead, but not by too terribly much. I mean, recent definitely not so far behind that he can't win at this point. We are only 2 minutes and 19 seconds into the game. But we do have another SCV coming out, and I'm probably going to see from Everize, it looks like maybe a fast expand here. He does have 250 minerals. Where's he headed with that guy? 300 minerals? Interesting. Where's this guy headed? Let's follow the trail. Okay. Looks like he is going to take a main. No, maybe not. Nope. He changed course a little or something. Well, we'll check back in on him in just a year or so, and that will be tons of fun to see what happened over the last little while. But in the meantime, it looks as though Everize going to be putting up a command center. Yes, there we go. Okay. Yep, he did have a lot of minerals there. And it is going to be a relatively fast expand here. So good stuff there from Everize. Notice that recent going to be getting his orbital command out here in great time. Is going to go for some mules. Does have a factory on the way right away. And double gas going down here for Everize. So while Everize was relatively slow on the gas, he is going to have an early expand up. We'll see if that's going to favor him or if recent is going to put some horrendous pressure on his opponent. Notice that he is going to be getting out a starport. It is a 1-1-1 build at this point. He does have a Reaper cruising out across the field as well. Going to try and put some pressure on his opponent with the Reaper. Not a bad play. Ooh, don't go in the wrong direction, Mr. Reaper. Here comes the Reaper. He is definitely going to have to be careful. There's a lot of Marines here. And a Hellion in tow, though, so this is a nice-looking harass. But the bunker completes in great time, and it looks as though recent going to back out very, very quickly. Here comes the scout from Everize. Let's see what he sees. Oh, yep, he does see the starport, does see the tech lab. I am sure that he clicked that. And we do have this Reaper. It looks like he is trying to find a way to get into the base, but is just a little bit afraid to jump up there onto that high ground. I don't blame him. I wouldn't do it either. But I am just a caster, a lowly caster, and not much of a fighter type. I wouldn't make a good Reaper, let's put it that way. But do have more Hellions coming out on the field, and it looks as though recent not going to be deterred by that scouting SCV. He is going to be getting out some Banshees here. Here comes a Reaper. Looks like he may be able to pick up a kill or two. Oh, not going to happen, Mr. Reaper. Not going to happen. Got to be backing out there, and indeed he does. We do have Cloak going down for the Banshees. Banshee number 1 here for recent out on the field is going to be cruising around here. Is he going to try and find his way to a mineral line? I assume that he is here in just a moment. Cloak is going to be about 50% complete. Oh, but look at this. Everize already in wait. Does have a missile turret out on the field for good keeping and safety. And now this poor Banshee going to have to just take a beating here from a Viking. Not going to get any kill. Well, he did get one kill. She got one kill, I should say. Viking pilots are female, as you can see by the picture. Well, that's actually not a Viking. That is, I mean, a Banshee, not Viking. You guys know what I'm saying. But the expand now up and running in great time here for Everize. Still no expand here from recent. Is going to be going for a whole bunch of racks. At this point, he does have... Oh, there's his expand. Is going to be flying it out right now. So, good stuff. Not too bad of a timing there. 8.5 minutes is about the time that will get there. maybe 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Anyway, it's coming. How's that? And we do have this reactor going down on the factory right now. Probably, I don't know if he's going to switch this or not. I kind of assume that he's going to switch this and go grab some tanks, but I just don't know for sure. I'd go for mass marine maybe, but we'll see here in just a little bit. It won't be very long at all. And we do have another Banshee here for recent cruising out. Going to try and make it behind the main mineral line, but that is not going to work either. Notice that, boy, Everize got great defense here. Double missed the turrets. Absolutely brutal. Recent is going to have to back out with that Banshee. Just trying to poke in here to see what's going on. Could snipe that guy. There we go. Here come the units. Cloak not going to help now that there is a Raven on the field for Everize. And down goes that Banshee for Recent. So Recent taking a lot of losses here. Notice the resources lost is 750 for him, 200 for Everize. So definitely in favor of Everize at this point. Let's just check the units tab and see where we're at economically. Everize also retaining an economic lead here, so that's been really, really good for him. Does have a great tech pattern here. Siege tanks, good air dominance, I think, at this point, which is going to be very, very useful. And this bunker here for defense, as well as some siege tanks. He's got this siege tank placed nicely back here to the main. Oh, look at that. We've got Stim now just barely going down for Everize. Infantry weapons level 1 for Recent going down, as well as the combat shield. So that's going to be pretty nice. Looks like he is going to be sticking with a fairly heavy Marine army for just a little while. Maybe going to be getting back into some drop tactics here in just a little bit, which is not a bad idea. He does have control of this tower, which is helpful. But look at this. Everize is going to be cruising around here with Vikings and a Raven on a patrol pattern to prevent any drops. And here comes the main army for Recent. Looks like he is going to be stimming forward here. And then backs out. It does not see an expand. That's all he was looking for at this point, was an expansion. Did not see it, so he's going to be fine for now, it looks like. See if he is going to be performing a drop, though. I'd kind of like to see that in some ways. I feel like he is a little bit behind right now in this matchup, and that if he can do some economic damage to his opponent, that would be good. However, cruising through the backside of his opponent's base here is not going to work. There are way too many units here. Way too many. And here comes some more Marines for Recent. Going to be joining the party. Looks like the factory did switch positions here with a barracks, giving that barracks a tech lab. And that's about it for now. We do have an armory out on the field, so we could potentially see some Thors or something like that, or some tank upgrades. Either would be just fine. We do have siege tech about to be complete, infantry +2/+1 going to be complete here in just a moment as well. But good, I mean, decent forward position here from Recent. Definitely serving him well. He's got plenty of Marines to deal here for just a little bit. But the trouble is, I think that the unit composition for Everize is really going to be favorable. I mean, he's got a good amount of tanks already, and we just don't have those quite yet. And it will just depend on micro and positioning. If Recent can find his opponent out of position, that'll be great. If not, then siege tanks, well, guess what? They're going to be doing an awful lot of damage. I do, however, like these upgrades from Recent. Those are really going to make a big difference here. Looks like we had a small engagement. A couple Marines going to be taking out an SCV. +1 is complete on these guys, but they don't have any other upgrades coming quite yet. And as we do see, +2/+1 rather is about to be complete. There goes the +1 is actually a little closer, but not by much. The armor upgrade, rather. But looking good. Oh, look at this. Everize is going to be cruising back around the back side here. is going to be destroying these destructible rocks here, gearing up for his third base. In the meantime, Recent going to have to evacuate this position right away. One Marine does go down, but good control there from Recent. And going to be trying to cruise into the main, but Everize catching wind of it. He did toss down a scan just to check. Does see his opponent's army there, knows to get himself back into position, and then back to the back door Recent goes. Recent looking for a hole in his opponent's metagame there, I guess, if you will, to see if his opponent can sense what's going on. And right now, Everize absolutely has phenomenal game sense. Now, Recent has taken a third base, which really is going to serve him well. He did get that down before his opponent, but Everize is going to be securing it right now, and he is definitely not in bad shape economically. Let's just check the units tab and see where we're at. Recent does have a slight advantage economically, but not by very much. And Recent, I think, has still got a great chance in this match, especially the longer that this goes. Everize really had a significant lead there. Now, he's kept it in a lot of ways with his tech, but tanks, just depending on the situation, can be less effective against this mass marine play from Recent. So it just depends on how the micro is going to go. But all in all, I mean, this is an extremely scary army. It'll take you a year to get through all of these tanks, but there they are, a whole bunch of them, as well as a lot of Vikings out on the field. And he's about to have a maxed out army. Now, Recent not far behind. And we should probably start seeing some different play here from Recent, I would think. But maybe some drops or something should be in the works at this point. We do have a single siege tank. I mean, just look at the difference there between the army composition. Everize so heavy on these tanks right now. If he can get those guys sieged up in a good position, then it is going to be difficult for Recent to deal with, no matter what kind of stim he uses. So here comes the attack. It looks like Recent is going to be losing a small detachment here. He's going to be stimming Marines. And down they go. He did save a couple of them there in the medevac, so not a bad play there. But wasn't able to flank these tanks while his opponent's Marines were chasing him down. So that, I mean, just keeping these tanks alive here for Everize is so key. And he's got enough Marines here to defend them. So, I mean, this is beautiful, beautiful looking push here from Everize with this maxed out army. Siege tank's going to be getting into position here in just a moment. Not bad. Notice what Recent's doing. I think this is a very smart move. Going to go ahead and evacuate this base. Knows that his opponent will be blasting it away with scans and with this nice air army. Little detachment here that can scout that forward position. Boy, this tank actually doing a decent amount of damage before it finally gets taken out. So good stuff there. However, it may not be enough. Recent does need to eventually engage this army. He's got this small detachment back here. I don't know, man. This is such a big army here for Everize. Looks like he did completely deny this third here. Took it down. We do have Ghost Academies getting blasted away here from across the crevasse. Now, Ghost, not a bad tech switch here, but he's got to get it out fast. Got to get it done, that is for sure. Ghosts, not super effective against siege tanks, just so you know. Look at that. There's the GG. Recent's army absolutely evaporating there under those siege tanks. Good game there from Recent. So thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be going into Game 4 here in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live a tournament action coming at you right now. This is Game 4 in tonight's finals. It is Recent versus Everize, and this is match point for Everize. He is right now currently up 2-1 in a best of 5, and that means only one more game for him. So taking it down here is going to be big for Everize, but the pressure mounting on Recent. He's got to go 2 games in a row to take this series and take home the $20 cash prize for the evening. But Recent is going to be spawning as our green Terran down here in the bottom center location. Top center is going to be Everize. He is spawning as yellow. Gotta love these TvTs. Such an interesting matchup these days. People have really learned to just get crazy unit mixtures and really have a lot of fun with it. It's been pretty neat to see. Excuse me. Don't get old. That's the best advice I can give you. Looks as though Recent is going to be walling off, as well as Everize. Both of these guys seem to have the exact same idea this game. We'll see if Recent going to go with his standard gas first or not. No, he is not. Is going barracks first. Now, it's the first time we've seen Recent do that. Usually he does go his gas first, which is kind of interesting. But opting out of that this time. And it looks as though Everize is going to beat his opponent to the punch on the gas here. Getting a relatively fast gas. However, he did put his barracks down first. Looking pretty solid. Looks like, ooh, uh-oh. This barracks probably going to go down to the low ground here. Notice that positioning there. So it is going to be probably some 2 racks pressure here from Recent. Not bad. And by putting it in this location, he can toss it down here to the low ground, which will give the Marines that much faster of a reinforcement time to any attack that Recent should want to be putting on his opponent. Now we do have Everize scouting around the map here. Does not see his opponent there, so knows where his opponent is spawning right now. They cannot spawn in these close spawn positions. But here goes the scout for Recent as well. In the meantime, it looks like this SCV may get up into the base here. There is going to be a Marine here to try and prevent. But off he goes. Does go down. Did not get the scouting information from the barracks necessarily, but he did see an SCV coming back from that position, so he may guess that at this point. There's not many buildings that you really want to put in that location. And one of them happens to be a barracks. And at this juncture in the game, that is definitely a possibility. So Everize will probably be relatively wise to that situation. He is going to be putting down a factory here fairly quickly. Has the double gas now, so probably going to see some tech here. Maybe even a 1-1-1 with some Banshees there. Not a bad idea. Look at that. Everize is going to go ahead and destroy the supply depot down here on the low ground. And down goes that supply depot. So our third Terran player in this game is currently out of the game, it appears. I'm just kidding. But Everize is going to be going for his starport here. Notice that we are getting a tech lab on the factory, which means we're probably going to see a switcheroo, which means potential cloaked Banshees. Press 1 if you love cloaked Banshees. In the meantime, it looks as though Recent going to be gearing up for his second base. And some more barracks. Now, he did not put this barracks down on the low ground quite yet, so kind of interesting there. He just was hiding it in that position, it appears. But is going to be putting on some pressure. He does have 5 Marines here and a couple more streaming behind. 2 more, exactly. And 4 racks now in total. And 2 more Marines back here at the back. We'll see if they are going to cruise up into the base, but Recent... Oh man, this is go time if you're going to do it. Oh, it's too late. There's already a tank here, and he did not go for cloaked Banshees here, so he did not do the switcheroo. He is going to be keeping this tank, or the tech lab here on the factory for tanks. Notice that Recent is backing out here fairly quickly. And in the meantime, Everize does get out a couple medevacs. There's his medevac. Is he going to be picking some units up here? Not quite yet, but he is cruising out across the map here. Recent going to have to beef up his defenses to be able to hold here. Let's take a look and see what he's got. It is a bunch of Marines, and a bunch of Marines may not be the ticket. So we do have a tech lab going down here. Probably going to need it. He's going to need some Marauders here, I think, to really hold this off, because of that tank that is mixed in here, as well as the medevacs. My goodness, this is going to be difficult. Everize in phenomenal shape right now. Looks as though this expand is going to be hurting him just a little bit. We could probably also see a bunker go down. I think would be fairly effective at this point. Even if he put it up here on the high ground, it would be effective. But he is going to be camping a couple guys over here in this position. Did send over a unit here just to check. Does see double tanks. Siege Tech is about to be complete here for Everize, and it is probably going to be go time. Siege Tech complete. Marines here, and one going to be cruising forward here just to check out the situation. Looks as though research, or I mean recent, going to be trying to get a flank here on two sides. He's got Marines on double sides there. Pulling a lot of SCVs, though, to try and make this defense happen. Is barely going to be able to make this happen. Does take out the tank, but losing a lot of SCVs to make that defense happen. And here comes one more tank from Everize, going to be sieging up here. Going to have a couple more reinforcements joining the party here. Oh, wow, that siege tank doing a lot of damage. These Marines just not split up quite enough to make that attack there super effective. And look at this, Everize cleaning up house very, very well now. One siege tank on the field at this point with this low supply count for recent is absolutely brutal. This tech advantage going to be killing his opponent. You can see him trying to mass up some units here on the low ground as quickly as he can. He does have a bunch of SCVs ready to go, but now there are two tanks going to be sieging up in different locations here, and this is going to be super, super effective. Looks as though recent may completely back out of his low ground here, not without letting all of these Marines die, and there it is. GG! Ladies and gentlemen, Everize has just taken down this tournament. He will be taking home a $20 prize, so congrats to him. Wow, thanks for Recent for coming and playing out today, though. It was tons and tons of fun to watch him play. This has been a phenomenal tournament. So don't alt-tab, always alt-Starcraft. We will see you guys next time.